very, very hard one to deal with lately, which is anxiety. And it's one of those things that it's been plaguing me lately. Oh shit. Well, there you go. Falling all over the place. Just got a new stand for my phone. Apparently I don't know how to use it. Nice little shock to the system there. That's what I needed. Anyway, start all over. Anxiety. I'm off of benzos for 7.5 years. But the thing is, what I went through was absolute torture. Getting off of other drugs as well that they polydrugged me on. And I'm still getting off of Remeron. And that's been absolute fucking shit. It's been terrible. I would say my last year was the best year I've had. Until I started overdoing it, eating things I don't normally eat, which wasn't too much, but still made an impact. Stress. And after things were kind of going downhill for a little bit, I ended up getting a test for my carpal tunnel, and I didn't really realize they were going to put little electric currents through my nerves, and they did that about 30 or 40 times. I knew I'd catch him, Mr. Wade. Mythic moment. So they did that, and ever since then, my symptoms have been progressing and morphing since. And anxiety has become unbearable. What changes were made to your diet which made it worse? Now, this is just something that I feel compounded with everything else. I don't think it was purely the food that made me get into such a bad wave, but I think it compounded on top of it. But I ate corn. I haven't eaten corn in 7 years because corn really messed me up. Same thing with cheese. I don't do dairy. I haven't done dairy in 7 years, which I had a ton of cheese. Yeah, popcorn I ate I ate There was something else too, I can't remember. But I started getting really cocky. I was going out a lot, even though I could tell things were getting worse. But as long as my anxiety was down, I felt I was able to do it. And I would just deal with the aftermath of the waves. But now everything got so intense to now my anxiety is out of control. So I have no choice but to step back from living my life the way I want to, because it's impossible. The anxiety is the worst part. It's just the worst part because it makes everything else worse. So that said, I have to lay low a lot. Feel like throwing up all the time just from anxiety, because it really stems from my gut and it shoots out adrenaline or something all day. I wake up with raging anxiety. Some days it's not as bad, and and then I have a day like today, hence I'm talking about it. So but I've been in a lot of DPDR and fog today especially, and just feel completely off. I did get some stuff done today that I was really happy to get done, but I think it was just one of those days that I was like shocked how the anxiety is affecting the fog and the DPDR and so on. So I'm just trying to do my best. I know it will end up morphing into something else. I take that every single day. I've taken it for 15 years. I got totally stuck on that stuff. But I have no problem with my stomach. Like I said, my anxiety stems from my gut, which shoots out the adrenaline and everything. It has nothing to do with my, like those actual stomach issues. It just stems from that area where I feel most of the anxiety from my gut. If that makes sense. Some people don't have it that way, but I do. Some do, some don't. But I don't get any acid problems just because I've been stuck on that shit for so long. And that's another thing I want to try to get off of after I get off of Remeron. Slow taper off of stomach acid issues. But I don't really have any major stomach issues. I do have IBS, but I mean that's a whole different story, and it goes by with what I eat. Sometimes I eat too much rice and I get stomach issues, or there's some other stuff that, Yes, brain gut connection, exactly. Yes, my girlfriend's very supportive. But it's not easy. It's not easy at all because, it's a hard process. One day I'm doing one thing, and the next thing I get totally set back, and I could be sitting like this for a year. I'm still gonna taper Remeron. So on top of it, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Um, what I'm supposed to do, I have no idea. So all I can do is take it day by day and just be open and be like, the stuff I was doing months ago, I can't do, and I probably won't be able to do for a while. And then I'll try to explain why I can't. And it's usually sensory wise and anxiety wise. Usually my sensory issues are way too big to do a lot of the things. But now I'm terrified to do everything because of the anxiety. So. But the people that do know benzo withdrawal syndrome, you'll understand the ups and downs of it. What's really hard is that I've said before, this last year was the best year I've had. I've done more healing than anything. But the setback is absolutely one of the worst setbacks I've had. Other than when I fucked up Remeron, this is probably a little worse, except for the fact that I don't have the depression like I did. It's just now I'm having raging anxiety instead. But the physical symptoms are brutal and the mental symptoms are pretty rough too. But it's intense. It's intense, and I feel I've done my duty of healing, and I shouldn't be this fragile still. I didn't think I was. I didn't think I was. So I just, like I usually say, take it day by day and see what happens. It's weird because after all this time, I mean, we're talking, it's almost a decade, 7.5 years. It's not 7.5 yet, but I think it's like 7 months or 7 years, 3 months and 3 weeks or something like that. I don't know. But it's like, at this point, now I got to figure, I've got a lot of life changes coming up within the next year. And I have to work around tapering and trying to do those things and then healing from the change and taper, which could take a very long time. And then I think once I'm settled and stuff like that and things calm down, I think I'll be in a better place to taper versus living alone and, just being by myself and trying to get through this, because the anxiety is terrible when I'm by myself. And some days it's not. Some days it feels a lot better. I can watch TV, enjoy myself. And then a lot of times I can barely even watch TV because of my sensory issues. And that's not shit. That's shit I haven't dealt with in years. Years. Probably 5 years. 4 years. Whatever. It's been years. It's been a while. And here it is all back, But it's morphing just like it did right after benzos. Like you get really harsh shit. And then when you can't take it anymore and you're going to fucking break down, then what happens? It changes to another symptom. Today, it changed drastically into DPDR and fog, and I'm walking around in a dream again. And some of the pressure in my head is lifted. Some of the crawling in my head lifted a bit today. So it's like some things, if it could all work out together, that would be fucking great. And thank you for the support. I appreciate that. Remeron is, well, a bitch. It is a harsh drug to get off of. And it's known to be one of the easiest. That's the scary part. It's torture because my nervous system's fucking fried. And I tapered 3 months ago, and I was living my life like I wasn't sick or tapering. Because the taper, I didn't feel it was that bad. I mean, it sucked, but it wasn't as bad to where I could still do stuff. Well, now I'm so set back that I can't do those things anymore. Now I'm fucking regret overdoing it. But then again, I had the nerve test, which completely changed everything. That I will yell till the day I die is, if you don't need a nerve conduction test, I know it sounds so stupid because you'd think I would have known or thought about it. But for some reason, I think 7.5 years later, I'm starting to let my guard down. And when I had the carpal tunnel and this part of my hand's going numb, I went into the specialist and he says, yeah, probably this, but just get a test and we'll find out. I didn't think about it at all. I just went to go get the test. And I was in a bad shape going in there, but I didn't have this anxiety, and it wasn't this bad. But once I went in for the test, and once he started talking about it, I'm like, oh fuck, this is not good. But I let it happen anyway, because I didn't really have a choice. He rubbed my fucking arm down with fucking alcohol. That, I think I survived that, to be honest. I don't think that was a big deal, but it scared me. And then, he starts doing the test. He put little electrodes on me and says he's going to put a current through this and current through that. So it was like 30 to 50 electrical currents through my nervous system. And I'm telling you, don't do it unless you fucking have to, because everything dropped underneath that. Let me catch up with you guys. Once a person finishes tapering benzos, what month or year does protracted withdrawal syndrome begin? They say protracted is like 18 months if you're still fucked up. So yeah. Do you work out to deal with your anxiety? I can't. I want to so bad. Every time I try to exercise, my nervous system just freaks out. And right now I'm so fragile, I can barely stand up for long periods of time. So what I'm trying to do to cope with it is trying to walk, but I can't take long walks because my physical symptoms get so insane. I mean, it's fragile. It is fragile. Trust me, it does help, and I know it does. So I have to weigh which hell I can deal with more. And tomorrow, I might end up trying to take a walk. It's either going to make it a lot worse or it might make it better. I have no fucking clue. If it wasn't so fucking cold tonight, I might even just take a quick walk tonight. You have a wonderful night, Wade. You are the champion. Take care, man. But yeah, it's a fragile state for sure. And I'm not sure exactly what to do. I know I have a long week this week with my work, and it's going to be hard. And I'll be on my feet a lot, and that's just going to take me out. Every time I do any kind of work, or any time I'm on my feet for more than 15 minutes, things just take its toll. That's how fragile it is for me. It sucks because there's things like I want to be doing. I want to be exercising. It's one of my main goals is to exercise and get fit again. I really look forward to it. If I could and it made me feel a little better, I'd fucking do it in a heartbeat. But instead, it makes my nervous system freak out more and it just sets me back more. So I don't really know. It's like that. It's that, um, what do you call it? The fucking, you're fucked. That's it. You're either fucked if you do, you're fucked if you don't. But I'd rather be a little less fucked. You know what I mean? Because I got to the point a few times where I could walk more. And one time, there was a little while I was doing an exercise bike once in a while. And I got to that point. But then setbacks happened. COVID happened. I mean, there was just so much. And every time I get a shock to my nervous system, then I'm stuck rebuilding again. And I haven't gotten, I got pretty when I moved to this apartment. But then I would walk around the block and it would make me feel worse in a way, but some things got better because of it. How do you drive around with no engine? Or is it the Flintstones car? You'd have to explain that one. But yeah, it's been rough. And it's like I don't know if the anxiety is something that exercise can really take. I don't know if it's something that's just my body's just freaking out. It's shooting out all the adrenaline. That even exercise, I don't even know if it would help or make it worse. But I try to get moving. I try to. But it's hard. It is so hard. Because I can't afford things to get worse. I can't because I have to work. You know, I have a job. It's my own job, but it's, you know, a job nonetheless, and I have to pay my bills. And until I don't have to pay my bills, which of course I do, then I have to be okay enough to do that. Which I'm sure everybody could understand. Oh, okay, I get you. Oh, it's like trying to drive around with no engine. That's what it feels like to have a nervous system injury. 100%. And it's like once in a while that engine starts for me, and I'll do good, but like this last time I took advantage of it. Admittedly, all the times I had were great and wonderful memories. It wasn't worth doing as much as I did, but then again, it could have been just a normal, really shitty wave that would have taken a month or two until I did the nerve conduction test, which is now going to made it 100 times worse. So now it's rest, 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 work, work, rest, meditate and work, you know, and that's all it is. But it's my work that really takes a toll on me. That's the one thing that's really, my job's not hard. That's the thing. But like I could never imagine working a 9 to 5. I wouldn't be able to do it. I would be crying every day, suffering so bad. But like my job's pretty easy and it's still too much. But I can't get disability because according to the doctors, all I've got is some anxiety and depression. They don't give you disability for that, especially when they can look at your bank and say, hey, he's making money, you know? So as long as I don't have a choice, some days I just say, what if, what if, what if, and I'm not allowed to do that. What if? Only if, only if. And I hate that because it's been so long and I'm so exhausted. If I felt like this 5 years ago, I'd be way more thrilled because it hasn't been that long, just a couple of years. But 7.5 years later, and this is happening, oh, And then the anxiety's just rolling, rolling inside. It's insane. It's just nuts. I'm going to head off here in a couple minutes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I will answer the best I can, or I'll answer in comments if I feel it's something I can answer. Sometimes people lately have just been saying stupid shit that I just delete. So, but a realistic question about benzo withdrawal syndrome or medications and stuff. I'm no doctor, but I can try to help. Um, that's it. That's why I do this. It gives me a timestamp of how I was at a certain time, and I know people come to my videos for distraction and advice once in a while, which I don't give great advice because honestly, I've been suffering for 7.5 years. What is my advice going to do? So my main advice is usually just stay away from other drugs, any kind of psych drugs. While if you're fucked off of benzos, don't get on any other psych drugs. If you need to take something once in a while, cool, do it, but don't let it be a benzo or a Z drug, or you'll be back at square one. But if you really feel you need to take something, take something, but don't fucking do it. Don't fucking do it day after day and get dependent. I mean, I was fucked on a bunch of drugs after benzos, and all I have left is Remeron. But my nervous system and body is so weak from all this, I don't even know how to gain any momentum. Like I said, this last year was my best year, but it was exhausting. It takes a lot to live your life in this situation, and that's okay because it's worth it, because that's why we're here, is to live. Sitting in the corner and crying about how shitty you feel doesn't always help. But what does help is trying to move on while also taking care of yourself. Anyway, I'm off, and you all take care, and we will chat soon.